guys, welcome. Chris Cox here. We're going to go back to the Sunset Strip of the 80s and do a Shark Island guitar lesson. For you guys that are not familiar with Shark Island, the lead singer Richard Black did a supergroup project called Contraband. So that's how I became familiar with them, is through that record, which featured Michael Schenker and Tracy Guns, Bobby Blotzer from Rat, and the bass player from Bixonix. Great album as well. But the album that they, for their major label release, was called Law of the Order, and Paris Calling was the main single and video. So the tuning for this is a standard tuning if you want to play along with the album or this lesson. So let's go ahead and get started. Paris Calling, Shark first. And then it goes into a So the very first part, you're going to have your first finger here on the second fret of the D string, the middle finger is going to be on the second fret of the G, and then your ring finger will be on the third fret of the B. Now when you're doing this lick or chord, you are muting everything and playing it in an arpeggiated way. So arpeggio meaning playing each individual note separate versus strumming your... Now, if you don't get your palm positioned just right back here to get this muted sound, it won't sound right. So you kind of have to play around with where the sweet spot is back here on the bridge. So I'm playing it like this. So basically 2 down strums, and then the last note, the B note or the B string, you're playing an up pick. So it's... Now you probably notice when we do that, we're letting that D note ring right there at the end. So you play one time through, and then you come back to the D before you repeat that same lick. So that goes through several times, and then we get into this riff. So the chords that we're playing in this part are going to be an A5, which is an open A string, and you are fretting on the second fret of the D and G. So it's... and then a D5 power chord, which is going to be 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D, and in between that you're doing a muted open low E. So we go go back to the muted low E. You're switching back and forth from A to D. Now right there is going to be where the pre-chorus starts, and you're just doing a... So 2 down strums here on the D5, and then we're moving a whole step down to the C5 chord, which is going to be 3rd fret of the A, 5th fret of the D. So we do a... So the image, if you listen closely to the album, there's actually a keyboard part that plays this little, melody I'm going to show you. But I've watched the guys play it live on YouTube and everything, and the guitar player plays this lick. So I'm going to show it to you. So it goes, and we do this. I'll play that a little better next time. show you that. So that, you know, and when we do that, basically that we're holding that C5 when we play this lick. That's going to be a pull off from the 5th fret of the D to the 4th fret of the D. So we do it. So that's just one pick and then a pull. And you're pulling the string down. And then you're going to grab this E note on the 7th fret of the A, back to the 4th fret of the D, back to the 5th fret of the D. So it's. Play the same thing again. So just like before, you're switching back and forth from the C5 to the A5, just kind of like we were doing from the D5 to the A. So let's play that again slow. So we do a holding the C5, play the lick, A5, C5 again, and then we're going to do this, and then at that point when we hit the low E, we're going to... Guys, make sure to go to the description of this video. I'm going to leave Shark Island's website in there. You can go and purchase their CDs. This is School Bus. This was their independent label release before they got their major label signing for Law of the Order. Bloodline's their latest great record. All of these are great albums. Gathering of the Faithful, and I believe there might be a Live at the Whiskey available there as well. I'm also going to put their YouTube channel in the description and their Instagram, so go check all those out. Go into the chorus. The chorus sounds like this. Go back into that intro riff there. So let's go over the chords of the chorus. So once we do that, here to the A5, we're doing this muted down picks here. So what you're going to do with this first chord, this is an E minor chord. So you're going to bar your first finger across the A, D, G, B, and high E. So just kind of flatten out that first finger. And the other fingers are going to be ring finger here on the 9th fret of the D, pinky finger is going to be on the 9th fret of the G, and then your middle finger is going to be here on the 8th fret of the B. So we get a, and you're basically first playing that chord, hit the open E, and then you're lifting up the middle finger here to get that. So you're basically one, then you're going to grab this. That's going to be a C5, which we're going to grab here on the lower part of the neck. Is going to be 8th fret of the low E, 10th fret of the A, to A5, which is going to be here on the 5th fret of the E, 7th fret of the A. Hit that open E again. Second pass through, we grab this D5, which is going to be 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D. And then we repeat again, C, A, then our E minor lick, A5, and then we go back into that same lick we learned. Now, if you understand everything about what we just learned there, from the intro to the verse to the pre-chorus to the chorus, all of that exact same thing repeats. So I'm just going to kind of play through that now. So we're going to pretend we're back into the second verse. So Melody again, to the A5, the C, and we're going to ride the A here to the E minor. Piece again. Now this changes. So this is right before we go into the bridge. So after we play that C5 to B5, that's going to be second fret of the A, fourth fret of the D. And then you're going to do all down picks with a muted B note. And then we're going to play that lick. So that's going to be second, third, sec, open. So 2, 3, 2, open. And then an open E. Riff that's the bridge, so it sounds like this. Okay, so let's talk about that. So we're doing this, and that's going to be from, you're pedaling back and forth to the open E string muted. So, that's going to be a common theme throughout all these riffs. So we do so the lick's going to be here between 7th fret of the A to the 5th fret. So we do. So down, up on the low E. So let's do that again. And then we do a hammer-on from 5 to 7 on the low E. And then you slide out here from the D note on the 5th fret of the A. So, and then we play this. Once you slide out of the D note here at the A, you're going to grab the 3rd fret of the low E, and pull down just a little bit, and then hit an open E, and then you're going to go here to the 5th fret of the D and grab the G note. So it's all together. And then we do the next part, which is exactly the same except this part. So we do it again, kind of similar to last time. We're just kind of going up the fretboard. So we do that's going to be a hammer-on from the 5th to the 7th on the A. And there's going to be the G note again on the 5th fret of the D. And then you're going to do the same kind of lick here on the D and G string. It's going to be from the 7th fret of the D to the 9th. So you do a hammer on and then grab the 7th fret of the D. So we have. And then you're going to come down here to the 12th fret of the G and grab this note. You should also grab it here if you want to. So you could do. If you want to grab it there. I feel like I can kind of dig in a little bit more here on the G string. Then you go back again and play that exact same riff that we learned earlier. Then And this is right before the guitar solo we do. Now when you get to that, you're going to do that same thing, that hammer on from 5 to 7 on the A, and then you're going to come here to the 5th fret of the D, but when we get to the 7th fret of the D, we're going to do an overbend and a pinch, kind of a pinch harmonic. With a lot of vibrato. That's right before you get into the guitar solo. So let's play it. We're going to come all the way down here. This would be the 20th fret on the B string, so we do a, and that's going to be 2 picks here on the 20th, from the 19 back to the 20. Then you're going to come here to the 17th to the 19th, so we have this. And then you're going to do a bend here on the 20th. And then you're going to do back here to the 17th to the 19th with a kind of a half bend here on the 19th. So we do a, so once you do that little vibrato, you're going to bend up here on the 19 and then pull off once you bring that note back down to the 17. So it's again, then we do this. So a full bend is 2 frets, a half bend is 1 fret. So with both of these at the 20th fret of the B, those are full bends. So that's a whole step bend. So we do a, so you do a full bend up, bend, and then do it again. But when you do the second time, you're going to keep pressure on that note so that you can let that note come back down. So we have, then you're going to play 19, 17. All that's on the B string, every bit of this. Play the whole thing. Oops, messed that note up. Let's try that again. Full bend there, half bend here. Here's the fast run next, and a lot of this is pull-offs when we play this. So I'm going to play it for you slow. So if you'll kind of notice the pattern repeats each time. So we do a, and then we do, so you can kind of see, if we kind of look at it like that in chunks, I think it's a little easier to put that lick together. So slowly you listen to those kind of pieces again. So there's one part. There's the second part, and then the last part, the fourth part. So that helped me to learn that, kind of know it in that pattern, that I'm just basically repeating that pattern. So let's go through each individual note. So we're going to start here on the B string, and we're doing a, so that's going to be 8 of the B, 7 of the B, to 5 of the B, and that's going to be a pick, and a pull off from 7 to 5. And then we grab the 7th fret of the G. And then we play this. So when we come back, we play pick, pull off from 7 to 5 on the B, and then we repeat that same pull off from 7 to 5 on the G. Okay, so the next part we do a that's going to be 5th of the B to 7th of the G to 5, 4, and then 7 of the D. So we do a pick, pick, pull off from 5 to 4, and then we repeat that note, those series of notes again. So we do, then repeat 7, 5, 5, 7, 5, 4, and then you kind of finish that pattern on the 7th fret of the D. So we have this. And now we have our 3rd pattern we're going to repeat, which is going to sound like this. And that's going to be 4th of the G string, 7th of the D, 5th of the D, 4th of the D. So pull off, and we finish that lick on the 7th fret of the A. The last part, so the last part we're doing like a, that's pretty much the lick right before we slide. So if I can play it correctly, so let me go through again slowly. So you're just basically doing a pull off from 7 to 5 to 4 on the D, and then finishing here on the 7th fret of the A. Then you do a slide from 5, 3 to 2 on the A. There's that lick there we'll go over in a second. So all together, now when we come to the B note here on the 2nd fret of the A, we do 2nd, 3rd, open D, 3rd fret of the low E, open A, and then a hammer-on pull-off from 2nd to 3rd, back to 2nd on the A string. So we'll do again, so now we're going to hit the open G and dive with the whammy bar and go slide into the 11th fret of the G. So when you do that dive, when you slide your middle finger into the 11th fret of the G, you got to let up off of your whammy bar. So we go, so by the time you get to that 11th fret, you've taken pressure off the bar. Then you're playing this, and that's going to be 11, 12 to 9. You're going to do a, then you're going to come back to the 11 to 12. So you play that again, 11, 12, and then come. So you're kind of doing a pull-off, a quick pull-off from 12 to 11 after you come into that. So we do the dive again. repeat that. We come out of the dive bomb. We play this. So when you do that last, you're going to do a climb here from 11, 12 to 14 on the G string. So, and then you're going to do a full bend here on the 14 of the G, bend it all the way up, and then do another pull off. So when you do that, you're coming and pulling off and sliding to the 11th fret of the G. Come back to the 12th, 14, 12, 13, back to the 14. So that's the 12 and 13 of the B, and then back to the 14 of the G. And then you can do some, shaking of the note with the tremolo or some aggressive vibrato. So that's going to be another bend. Once you do the bend and let it come down, you're going to play 14, 12, 14, and then back to 12, 11, back to 12. And then repeat this. So that's going to be a full bend here on the 12th fret of the G. You're playing the same pattern. That's going to be 12, 11, 12, 11, 9, and then you do a pinch harmonic here on the 12th fret of the G. So we have and then we finish here on a full bend on the 20th fret of the B string. And when you bring that note back down, you're just using your tremolo arm to kind of shake that note. So let's play the whole thing slowly.